where they really are trying to force our people, into taking this COVID-19 coronavirus vaccination. We know that the government is rushing it because it takes years for clinical trials and things of that nature to test it and make sure that it's safe. And they're trying to push this thing out. They're trying to get rid of all of the religious exemption forms that people can use to stop from taking vaccines. So, Brother Tariq, could you talk to us about those vaccinations and some of the things that they are trying to do on Capitol Hill by pushing this vaccine through to our people, and some things that we could do to prevent that?
Absolutely. First, I just want to touch on Cuba's response to the coronavirus and what they've been able to do with the treatments that they have. Yes. One of the treatments is the alpha interferon product you mentioned earlier. It's called Heberon. So let me backtrack a little bit. For those who don't understand what alpha interferon is, or interferon alpha. Interferon alpha is a molecule that is released from cells and responds to a virus. What happens is the cell is already infected. So now it needs to produce products that will keep other cells from getting infected. So now once the virus enters the cell and releases the interferon, those interferons then go on to the other cells to protect them. So now by the time the virus gets to those other cells, it's already created antiviral proteins or weapons used to fight off the virus, so that when it rolls up on the new cells, it can't do nothing because the interferon is interfering with entering the cell or replicating itself inside the virus from replicating itself inside the cell. So what Cuba has been able to do with interferon alpha is they've been able to develop a recombinant version of interferon. So recombinant means you're just taking a piece of genetic material and placing it in something else. So if I took a piece of my genes, a piece of my DNA, and I put it inside it's like key cells, that would be an example of recombinant therapy. So what they did is they realized that the coronavirus was able to fight off normal interferon that was produced in the human body. So they needed to make a special type of interferon that would fight that, and the body would be able to respond to whatever virus it's fighting off. So they created that. Now I'm not going to say modified version, but they created a interferon product that focuses on the gene that makes the interferon. So in any blood product or anything that happens inside the cell, there are genes responsible for making that. So what they did is they tapped into the gene that makes the interferon in the cell, and they turned around and made an entirely new recombinant version of the interferon that is normally produced to help fight off the coronavirus. The pestilence from heaven that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan described this is not a normal virus. It's not a virus that they totally understand yet. This type of coronavirus is brand new. They don't know much about it. It's only been 9 going on 10 months since they've really started studying this strain of coronavirus.